Hey everyone, welcome to the PGA here on DKTV. What, does it look different? No, it's the same old place. No, our studio is being redone, so we're here at this fabulous sports bar and grill in Marylebone. Joining me, of course, from Your Golf Travel, Rory Anderson, Edo Del Monte, and DK staff writer Jamie Hinks. Guys, let's get into the Zurich Classic. It was wetter than a front row of a Justin Bieber concert. 4.5 inches of rain. Brian Stewart comes back and wins this sucker. Edo, you're watching this game. What were you thinking?
Who's Brian Stewart, first and foremost? It was incredible. I mean, he went into a three-way playoff with BHA and Lovemark, and I was really rooting for Lovemark to win. But, I mean, Stewart played the conditions perfectly. That last drive shot set up the easy birdie putt. He was brilliant. Really deserved it. He was. Rory,
we were talking about Lovemark. He missed some bad putts, like some key putts right near the end. What were you thinking watching this game? It was pretty crazy up and down, wet weekend.
I was almost trying not to watch it because of how my team performed. But no, I did read earlier that Stewart did not miss a putt inside 10 feet all weekend. Sorry, for the whole tournament, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So obviously he got the job done with the putter, whereas Lovemark didn't, as he said. So. Yeah, that's what it all came down to. Really.
Jamie, any final thoughts when you were watching it?
I was watching on an app on my phone, and I didn't really kind of grasp what was going on because it was just numbers coming down. I was like, why haven't they finished it?
Yeah.
And obviously this was like...
Well, they shortened the course as a result of which to make it a shorter thing. We're going to bring up the results. You can see the fancy graphics we're bringing up. Let's see. We start at the bottom here. Edo, 203.5 points. Rory, second last. Third place, 229.5. In second place, it's Jamie with 332.5, which means first place with 403.5 points. It's me again. Third time I've hit over 400. I don't mean to brag, but fuck, I'm awesome. I'm so good. I was lucky. I picked two Canadians. It was Vegas. You know, I bet on my Canadians, but Johnny Vegas kept it going. A few guys got me in the thing, and Kirk also with 83 points kept me going as well.
Great pick.
Yeah, I know.
Colt though.
Colt. Yeah. You picked. You picked a guy that didn't even play.
He doesn't like playing golf anymore. No.
Yeah.
He withdrew. He pulled out.
Yes, so I would have picked someone else at the last minute, but that still didn't make my lineup. Very competitive.
I'm a big fan of the pull-out method, just not in big tournaments. Let's go through the tournament this weekend. Hey, it's off to Charlotte, North Carolina. The Wells Fargo Championship, the Quail Hollow Club. Par 72, 75 yards. George Cobb designed course. It's got the Green Mile, those 3 last holes, which are killer. Rory, tell me about this course. What do you know about it?
I know it's one of the toughest on tour, and if you look back at the list of previous winners, it's a pretty impressive list in terms of pedigree. They all hit it long, well, a couple of exceptions like David Thomas back in the day. He doesn't exactly get it out there, but it seems to be quite a handy tool to take this course on if you can bomb it off the tee. So I'll be expecting someone in the long hitters club to be doing well this week as well.
You mentioned past winners, the Rory, who set a blazing record last year, like 61, 268 over the weekend. Yep. You've got J.B. Holmes, Derek Ernst, Ricky Fowler, Lucas Glover, and of course Rory again in 2010. Edo, what are you looking for in this course?
Yeah, pretty much what Rory said about the driving distance. I would also look for accuracy because it's a tough course, and if you haven't got driving accuracy, you better have good scrambling. You better be able to get yourself out of it. People like Furyk and Mickelson have tended to do well because of it. Putting as well, although being a Cobb design course, the greens aren't the toughest out there. But generally speaking, I would look for those two things, and maybe even people who can hit it hard, just because a lot of the par 5s, you can actually get to the green in 2, so eagle opportunities, I think, are key.
Anything else you're looking for in this, Jamie?
And as Edo said, I think scrambling will be quite important here, just because, I think if you're not accurate, you're going to need to try and get onto the green. Also interesting, I think the USPGA is going to be held here next year. So
yeah, that's what they were talking about.
Looking out for the guys who do well here, and then get them in your lineups next year.
So let's talk lineups as the way DraftKings goes. We all know PGA, right? You get 6 players, you get 50 grand. Who is in your lineup? Who is in your team? Who's the guys you got to have this weekend? So let's start out. Rory, start me out with your first guy. Who do you got here?
Well, Edo referred to him earlier as BHA, Benan. He won the European Tour Rookie of the Year last year. He won the youngest ever winner of the US Amateur.
How do you pronounce his name again?
They call him Benan. I'm not going to go for the actual full length.
Because it looks like Beyond hung on.
Yeah. Well,
benign.
Yeah. Let's go with BHA. Let's just stick
with BHA.
BHA.
Not to be confused with BHS. It's not going to administration.
Not to be confused with BHS.
He won at Wentworth last year on the European Tour. He was runner-up last week, so he's in form and he's proved in the past that he can win the big events, and this is certainly one of the bigger ones on the PGA Tour. So.
Good call. BHN. Edo, what do you got for your first pick?
I'm staying in Asia. Hideki Matsuyama, 9,300, I believe. I'm also looking for people who do well at the US Open because they tend to do well here. So Hideki's record there, tied for 10th last year, tied for 18th last year, tied for 10th in 2013. Has done well here, tied for 20 last year, tied for 38 in 2014. His putting, not great, but he's the kind of player who manages courses really well. He'll get himself into good positions, so he can miss a few putts, but they're not going to cost because he'll be consistent at getting himself into the green. And I loved him at the Masters. I picked him there as well, so it's one of my rare good picks. So just out of gratitude, Hideki, he's my guy.
Well, you need a rare good pick after your performance last week. Jamie, first pick. Who do you got out the guys?
I've gone for the most expensive player in the field.
Oh, you spending the big money first. Look at you.
I try to avoid the best players on the most expensive players on DraftKings usually, but I can't look past him this week. This was his most recent title on the PGA Tour, which is amazing. He hasn't won anything since then. In the last 6 years, he's had 2 wins, tied second, 2 top 10s as well. I know he had that bad time at the Masters, but I think he can pull it out here. Top 10 in 3 of the last 4 starts this season too. So he's got the form currently, he's got the history here.
He's got the pedigree. He does have the pedigree. I'm going to go with my first pick. You know what? Because I was in first place again last week. I'll come last one. I'm going to stick with something that works well for me, which is choosing Canada. I'm choosing Graham DeLate, 7,400. He's made the cut 10 of the past 13 events, cracked the top 25 4 times, and finished 27th or better in his past 4 events. He's Canadian. He was 14th place finish at the RBC Heritage. He's Canadian. Graham DeLate, I love your beard, on my list. Number 2. Edo, let's start with you, number 2. How did you do in number 2?
Emiliano Grillo, 7,700. I love the form he's in at the moment. A great long iron player. And he's got that rare combo of driving accuracy, where he's 6th, and driving distance, 63rd, which I think is good enough. Putting, a little bit iffy. The Eagles aren't good either, but did well at the match play. 17th at Arnold Palmer, 17th at the Masters. 23-year-old kid. He's not got, obviously, a great track record because he's not been around the pros that long, but I just think he's playing so well at the moment. This is the kind of place where a kid like him finally makes the win.
Bet money on the kids. Jamie, who you got for your second pick?
Very cheap one here. Roberto Castro, 5,900. 11 out of 15 cuts so far this year. He's so cheap. This is because I was looking through players earlier, and I was like, oh, this is one of the guys I really want, and I was like, oh wow, he's in the 5,000s.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever picked anything that basement level before. 4 top 50s in his last 5 events, and also he's 3 for 3 here in terms of making cuts.
And his brother's president of Cuba, which really helps, Castro, good pick. Who you got for your second pick there, Rory?
Charles Hull III. He was my star man last week, which wasn't difficult because there's only 2 out of 6 that made the cut. But no, I kept him in the team purely based on that. He was my highest point scorer last week, but then I dug a little deeper, and he's actually finished top 25 12 times from 16 starts, so he's a bit of a top 25 machine. 33 sub 70 rounds on tour this season, which is the highest number out of anyone. So he's playing really consistent golf, and he should be making the cut and potentially finishing up quite high as well.
You hope for something like that he's going to finish in at least top 25. You're hoping, but you never know with the way these topsy-turvy and some of the new guys coming out. Mm-hmm. I've gone for my second pick, journeyman from Ireland, Padraig Harrington. Yeah, 6,900. He's playing consistent golf. He's hitting the birdies, but also he was challenging for the lead in Valero, ended up 25th. I like the guy for 6,900. I think he can crack the top 20. Padraig Harrington, Ireland. You're on my list. Let's go third pick. Jamie, who's your third pick?
Jamie Lovemark, 7,900. He ranks really well for driving distance and scrambling. He's quite in the top 10, which has been quite a good indicator of success here over the last couple of years anyway. He was tied second at the Giro Classic last week, obviously lost in the playoff. I think he'll feed off that and want to win. And he's also had 3 top 20s in the last 3 weeks. I don't think he's that expensive at 7,900. He did mess me up a bit a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to give him another chance because he did so well last week.
He did indeed. Edo, who's your third pick?
7,900, Kevin Chappell, or K-Chap as I like to call him. Another great US Open performer in great form at the moment, so did really well at Valero, at the RBC, second at Arnold Palmer, 12th in Eagles. I really like everything, and last year's sort of streak of form began here with a tie for 16th, and he's managed to tie for 11th as well here in North Carolina, so I think he's looking really good. The putting, not amazing, but I think it's offset by his recent form. going to the chapel, we're going to get married. He's 98th in driving accuracy, which is just about good enough. Yeah, I love him.
All right. Going to the K Chapel to get K Chap married.
The chap as well. So many more.
Yes, you're chapping all over yourself. All right, Rory, third pick. Who we got on your team?
I've gone to Ireland for this one too, but Shane Lowry.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
He's ranked in 18th in total driving, which is obviously a combination of length and accuracy. He's only missed one cut this season, and he seems to consistently play well in the really marquee events. Like, he had a great track record in the majors last couple of years. He won on the PGA Tour last summer at the WGC. I've met him, he's a really top bloke as well. So
nice.
Shane,
Well, dropping names. Sorry, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. Well, I haven't met my third pick, but his name has been thrown through the dirt lately, and that's Willie McGirt. And his sister Gert. He is, all right, he used to be a value, he used to be high, he used to be in the 9,000s. Now he's 6,400. You can pick him up at Walmart, pretty much. And luckily, he's actually from Lumberton, North Carolina, so he knows this course. He knows North Carolina. From Lumberton, North Carolina, Willie McGirt. I've chose you once, you threw me in the dirt. This week, on my list. Okay, Jamie, who's your fourth pick?
I'm also going to the chapel. Kevin Chappell, 7,000. I'll be there with Edo.
Yeah. You guys get rub your K-chaps against each other.
Yep. Really top 10s in his last 4 starts, including a second at the Arnold Palmer and a tied 4th for the Valero. They had 4 out of 5 cuts here and top 20 in the last 2 at Quail Hollow as well. I think he's a nice price level at this price, and yeah, it lets me go and pick Rory in my first pick. So.
Okay. Edo, fourth pick.
Adam Scott.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. And that's why, because I think...
The up and down adventures of Adam Scott?
A little bit, because, okay, his Masters, he wasn't terrible, he was just underwhelming, but I think he'll be under-owned because of it. He's not played 6, incidentally. So I think this is really good value. Tied for 9th and tied for 4th at the US Open recently, so he's got form. I was also looking to see how he does before major tournaments, where he often doesn't play, the week before, obviously with the players next week. So yeah, 2015 he did reasonably at the match play, so I think he can do well here. His combo, his total driving is really good, 49th. He's first in Eagles, first in par 5, and first in approaches from 200 to 225. I'm sorry, but there's too much value there for 10,600. DJ would also be a great pick there. Adam Scott.
Adam Scott it is. Rory, fourth pick. Hammer me.
Patrick Reed.
Okay, there we go, Patty Reed.
I had him in Texas, and he only lost by a shot, which was a bit gut-wrenching for me. But no, he's a top 10 machine this season. He's had, 8 or 9 top 10s, I'm pretty sure. So I'm expecting him to finish high again. And it's only a matter of time before he wins another PGA Tour event with the form he's in. So fingers crossed for me, it'll be this week.
Perfect. All right, now moving on to my fourth pick. I've also made a love mark. Jamie Lovemark for 7,900. The guy came back from a back injury. He's played some unremarkable golf, but last weekend, 2 key putts. I like guys that play angry, maybe because I like dating women that get angry. And so I think this guy's going to be playing angry. I think he's going to look at it and go, oh, so close. So Jamie Lovemark for 7,900 on my list. Okay, so 5th picks, guys, which means we're starting to run out of money. Edo, wow us. Who have you got this week who's not going to make the cut?
Oh, Jim Herman.
Oh, that's a perfect pick.
6,200. He won at Houston, so I think there's a factor there. He won a tournament just before a major, so he can make the most of people maybe showing up and sort of testing out a few shots, not exactly going for broke. Really good stats on the Eagles. 22nd in driving accuracy, 84th in driving distance, and he tied 13th here last year. So I'm hoping that his, should we say, run of form is not going to end anytime soon. Jim Herman, 6,200.
5th pick. Rory, who you got in your 5th? Who's on the list?
Webb Simpson.
Oh, haven't heard that name in ages.
No, he likes a shank, but it's a bit like Ian Poulter in that respect. But he's actually a member of Quail Hollow, I read today. So he obviously knows the course like the back of his hand. Actually finished tied 2nd here last year. And he's only missed 2 cuts this season, so he's not finishing that high, but he should be there for the weekend. And as I said, that members knowledge.
Members only.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those jackets in the 80s. They're crazy.
And he should be able to get a couple of members bounces as well. Hits it into the trees,
exactly.
The fairway.
He whistled for that one pigeon to come pick up the ball and drop it while the rabbit kicks it into the side.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
There we go.
It's like a Disney movie. Jamie, 4th or 5th pick?
I'm also on the Jim Herman bandwagon with
Oh my God.
Yeah, one in Houston. That was the main reason I picked him. I thought, Houston looked like I read somewhere that Houston was a good in here in terms of looking at another course where players have done well. Jim Herman 6,200, not a lot. So.
All right, my 5th pick. I've gone for a guy. I'm just trying to pronounce his name here. Rory McIlroy. Rory McIlroy. Oh my gosh, that's who I chose. 12,800. Come on, this guy owns the course. He owns it. He blazed it last year, and you know what I mean by blazing it, right? He set the record. He set the record. He won in 2010. If you don't choose Rory, you're an idiot. Unless I lose and Rory screws up, then I'm the idiot, and we'll find out next week. Rory, you're on my list. Don't screw up. All right, 6th and final pick, guys. Usually this is done in the way I do it is. It's all the money I got left, but maybe you've got different strategy. Rory, who's your 6th pick?
Gary Woodland again.
Okay.
He's another one of my grand total of 2 who made the cut last week. He's the longest player on tour, so on this, as I said earlier, 7,500 yard layout, I mean, that's a clear advantage straight away. He's not finished that high up the leaderboard, but he's only missed 1 cut from 11 starts this season, and he was top 20 last week. So yeah, I'm repaying the faith I showed him last week by keeping him in my team.
Keeping the faith. Love it, love it, love it. Edo, 6th and final pick.
So here are 2 players I really like, and I eventually opted for Patrick Rogers, the P-Rod at 7,700.
You're really coming up with some really gay nicknames. They're really
American
K-Chap, Gay-Rod, whatever you're...
The Prod.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
Okay, not that there's anything wrong with that, but go ahead.
No, absolutely. I think he's coming back into form because he was a really popular fantasy pick up until a few weeks ago, and he didn't perform then. He's performing now. 10th in GIR, really good tee to green, good driving distance. His driving accuracy, but I still think he's good enough. He is 5th, believe it or not, in Eagles, so 94 holes per Eagle, which is really impressive. 29th in par 5s, and I think that, yeah, he's the kind of player who's up and coming. This is the kind of player who I think will eventually show up and win this kind of tournament. So at 7,700, great deal. Otherwise, if you've got a little bit more money left, you go for someone like Berger. Excellent form. And yeah, except for the driving accuracy, he's brilliant. But I'll be stacking less of him.
So you're very confident in that last pick. All right, Jamie, last pick.
I've also gone for Gary Woodland's 7,800. As Rory said, he's the longest driver on tour. I've literally got everything written down that Rory just said, so I'm not going to regurgitate it. But yeah, he did well last week, and yeah, made a lot of cuts this season.
So you know, for the big hitter on the course, I'm gone for my strategy, which is the same strategy I use every week, is how much money do I have left? And then it shows me the guys in red and the guys in black, and I take the first guy that I can get in black, and that's BHA. I'm going with you too, the South Korean. I like guys that come back angry, and I think he's going to come back angry. You know, between the 2 guys, between him and Lovemark, both in the playoffs, I like them both. So at 8,600, that's all the money I had left over. So now with the magic of graphics, we're going to bring up the list. Let's take a look at Edo's first. You can see, yeah, Edo has got Mitsuya, Scott, Berger, Herman, Grillo, and Rogers. And then we bring up Jamie's. And Jamie has McIlroy, Castro, Herman, Lovemark, Woodland, and Chappell. Rory, BHA, Howell III, Lowry, Reed, Simpson, and Woodland. And my winning lineup, DeLate, Harrington, McGirt, Lovemark, McIlroy, and BHA. Hey, how do you get involved? You go to DraftKings.co.uk. PGA this weekend, it's a Wells Fargo Championship. All you have to do is put 6 guys together, 50 grand. You could win big. Welcome to the big time.